Welcome to this Software Innovation for Smarter Government demonstration. My name is Brian Bryson from IBM Rational, and I'm here today with Bill Wimsatt, Principal at Wells Landers, an IBM business partner. Today, we're here to talk about exciting capabilities from Rational Software, how project portfolio management and enterprise planning can deliver transparency and oversight to government organizations. Today's governments and public sector are being challenged like never before and are the epicenter of the financial crisis. State, local, regional agencies, healthcare, education, and energy companies are all facing two challenges that are threatening sustainability as well as key citizen services. On the revenue side of the balance sheet, these organizations are facing a shrinking tax base from high unemployment and a trend towards greater savings. On the cost side, there is ever-increasing demand for services, but governments are highly leveraged and facing increasing outflows. To respond to the global crisis, many governments have announced fiscal stimulus packages. In North America, this package is called the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, and its primary purpose is to promote job growth by investment in both the public and private sectors. We are seeing an entire public and private sector ecosystem evolving around these stimulus initiatives, focusing on ways to transform the way they serve citizens and businesses. At IBM, we call this transformation smarter government. To ensure the welfare and security of citizens and to get back on track to economic prosperity, we are embracing key steps towards sustaining transformation. These are citizen-centered experiences, connecting people to programs based on individual needs, achieving sustainable outcomes while reducing operational costs and maximizing taxpayer value. Government accountability, leveraging business intelligence and planning to improve insight and elevate performance with visibility and control. Sense and respond public safety capabilities, enabling defense and law enforcement organizations to achieve situational awareness, increase speed of command, and response superiority. And green government for a greener planet, deploying environmentally responsible operations from energy efficiency and conservation to transportation management and the pursuit of renewable resources. As governments and government-influenced agencies get started with their economic stimulus initiatives, they face some fundamental challenges in getting started. The ultimate goal is to provide transparency and accountability back to taxpayers. Did the programs initiated yield desired benefit? Were the projects completed on time, under budget? Did the local government even pick the right initiative or project that would yield both short and longer-term sustainable benefit to citizens? Did these initiatives create jobs? Here are the 5 challenges and needs that are typical of any government agency getting started. 1. Capture the core strategic gaps and challenges in the organization. 2. Build the business case of why the initiative, be it infrastructure improvement or new technology for schools, is deserving of the stimulus grants. Perform what-if analysis to select, rank, and prioritize projects that would provide highest value to citizens. 3. When one actually receives the stimulus grants, develop the actual spend plan based on the priorities and investment selections. 4. Plan and execute the desired organization, enterprise, and IT changes required for transformation. And finally, 5, report back the usage of funds and status of initiatives, noting, of course, that this reporting and milestone visibility actually happens throughout these steps. So what is needed to ultimately deliver transparency and oversight and fulfill the steps just mentioned? We see government agency IT and line of business leaders engaging and collaborating throughout the life cycle depicted here. Analyze. First, the agency captures the as-is state and plans the desired changes. Gap analysis is key at this stage. Decide. IT and line of business leaders select, rank, and prioritize initiatives and projects in alignment with their strategic objectives. Deploy. This is the execution phase, which could involve system and software infrastructure. Inform. Noting that throughout these phases, it is critical to get accurate measurement and status of program performance. For example, there is a cost allocation view earlier in the process when project selections are made upon receiving stimulus funding. The stakeholder team might want to go back 9 months later and check on the project status and understand whether the stimulus was actually being spent on the projects intended. Here are the IBM software solutions for government transparency and oversight. IBM Rational Enterprise Architecture Tools and Best Practices address the analyze phase to capture the as-is state, understand the challenges, plan the desired changes, and capture gaps. IBM Rational Portfolio Management helps IT and line of business leaders select, rank, and prioritize initiatives and projects that will yield the highest return on investment as well as sustainable citizen benefit. IBM Application Lifecycle Management offerings, based on JAS, allow agencies to cost-effectively implement their desired changes via software and systems development and upgrades. This could be a new curriculum management system for a school or e-ticketing solution upgrades for transportation terminals. Finally, IBM Cognos Performance Management offers metrics and real-time status of project performance, such as budget utilization, job creation, or any metric deemed relevant by the agency. In the upcoming demonstration, we'll focus primarily on enterprise architecture, portfolio management, and performance management. As government agencies get started, Rational helps by planning their transformation and mitigating risk to achieve maximum ROI. Effective organizational transformation and execution is often hindered by the lack of shared view of the current business and IT organizational and operational landscape, the enterprise architecture. When you have a single big picture view that combines strategy, business architecture, information systems, and technology domains, you can quickly assess the impact of proposed changes and then successfully manage transformation by prioritizing the actions and funding that yield the highest return on investment. Enterprise architecture generates delta reports between your organization's as-is blueprint and desired to-be outcomes, providing high-level roadmaps for the successful, efficient execution of change. This is particularly useful in attaining additional effectiveness from existing Federal Enterprise Architecture or DODAF initiatives. For example, in an IT modernization exercise or systems of systems deployment, agencies can quickly and easily identify redundancies, reuse critical assets, and streamline business processes for smooth consolidation and improved efficiency. The outcome is an optimized environment that requires lower cost to maintain. Here's Bill Wimsatt, principal from Wells Landers, an IBM business partner, to talk in detail about rational enterprise planning for government.
Hello, this is Bill Wimsatt. I'm a technology director with Wells Landers TVAR, and I'm going to show a brief overview of using System Architect with smarter government initiatives. System Architect is a desktop or web-based application that allows for different types of modeling, such as FEAs, segment architecture methodology, and DODAF. System Architect is more than just a diagramming tool. It's a rich modeling and architecture development platform. Here we have a data model, which can get quite complex in large government organizations. The rich interactive capabilities of System Architect provide an excellent platform for designing efficient solutions and analyzing the impact of changes. Physical model, or a network model, is another type of diagram that would be helpful for smarter government initiatives. The same rich interactive environment is provided across all the different diagram types to provide a consistency of platform across all the different architecture tools. Since System Architect is a repository and multi-user based platform, you can combine the different elements together to create more enhanced models. So as you're building smarter government initiatives, you can see how applications, data, and organizations interact together to provide the best to-be architecture. System Architect is more than just a diagramming environment. I can also use it to analyze my architecture, such as show those items that have the most business value, or those items that have the most impact financially to my organization or bureau. This information can be gathered from tools such as Rational's Fiscal Point.
Once we have a complete understanding of the enterprise architecture and gaps, agencies can dig deeper into the analysis to drive successful portfolio selection and project planning. Making well-informed strategic decisions that maximize benefits ensures you have the right portfolio for future growth. IBM Rational Focal Point lets you incorporate constituent inputs to develop and roadmap a portfolio that will deliver the future state, an architecture driven by key stakeholders, what they value, and their priorities. Using full business case planning support, new IT applications can deliver new services alongside your existing project portfolio for maximum business value with minimal disruption. With Focal Point, you prioritize your most critical capabilities and realize fast initial success. A data-driven approach allows for better, more transparent decisions that can be revisited as conditions change. Focal Point provides various analysis tools to allow visualization of your options and trade-offs, especially costs versus benefits, so teams can view scenarios and make well-balanced choices on the best projects to pursue. For example, with a report like the one shown here, it would be easy to determine whether funding is better spent on a construction project or an IT modernization project.
Rational Focal Point is a web-based solution that can be used for portfolio management for government initiatives. It helps agencies prioritize projects, prioritize investments, visualize and communicate status among the multiple stakeholders involved. You can also incorporate intangible variables, such as strategic value to citizens. Here we see a home page, which has three major portfolios: maintenance and utilities, enhancement and improvements, and transformational. It's being measured across 5 different axes: efficiency, value to the business, financial attractiveness, alignment to the mission, and risk. When you're looking at your portfolio, you want to be able to look at those different axes to make sure that you have the right mix of investments. For example, in this diagram, I'm showing IT efficiency versus business value. The size of the bubble is the financial attractiveness. And as I select those different items, it's identifying for me how I'm doing against IT efficiency, business value, and financial attractiveness. To get to those values for making decisions requires a couple different types of measurement techniques. One technique within the Focal Point platform is pairwise comparisons. It allows you to do a direct comparison between two different items, business processes, or in this case applications, and what the goal of that comparison is going to be. Then the decision maker can make a relative comparison and decide which is more important according to whatever that item is. So in this case, which item has more impact to developing policies and procedures to guide expansion. Another technique might be a survey. Ask direct questions with identified mitigation or risk values assigned to those questions, so that you can come up with an overall value based on the survey outcome. Ultimately, through the different techniques of prioritization and decision making, you'll come up with different values, such as here we can see an IT efficiency, a business value, and a risk ranking. That information is where the ultimate decisions are made. That information can be then pulled back to System Architect so that your architects and your business planners from the architectural side can use the information in order to execute and assure that we have business plans and business architectures that meet our needs in the future.
Finally, Cognos provides the dashboard that brings it all together in terms of performance metrics and reports throughout the program lifecycle. Cognos Performance Management can help track allocations, progress against spend goals, and program outcomes in a single location, as well as capture contractual milestones with subcontractors through web reporting. Ultimately, taxpayers and community stakeholders are concerned that funding isn't wasted and is put to good use. Funds tracking solutions are invaluable in providing visibility and accountability of stimulus funded or any government project.
In this case, I'm using Cognos as a business intelligence and reporting platform to pull information from System Architect, from Focal Point, and other sources such as financial documents and capital planning, or maybe external rating. Cognos provides a highly interactive environment for looking at your data from different viewpoints, whether you're drilling down into the data for more detail, or drilling through to provide more contextual information, such as managers' reports or monthly reports that would be used across the Bureau. Maybe I want to look at the portfolio information that it created within Focal Point. The information from Focal Point is provided into a relational structure so that I can report on that information within tools like Cognos. The other thing that we can do is we can look at that information over time. I can collect it into a dimensional data mart so that I can look at my IT efficiency, my business value index, and my risk index over time so that I can make sure that I'm keeping on target, making sure that I'm maybe keeping risk flat while business value is increasing and IT efficiency is hopefully increasing. That allows me to truly measure the value of my enterprise architecture. It's not a point in time, it's how have things changed and how have the different factors that are important to my business for measuring the effectiveness and how have those changed over time. I can look across that portfolio in a couple different ways. I can look at it from phases, and I can look at it whether they're on budget or over budget, and what the dollar values invested are at any point in time. When you're looking at your enterprise architecture, it's not always making decisions on what you do know, it's understanding what you don't know. In this case, I'm showing an architecture quality dashboard, which is representative of what you might be able to do, pulling information from System Architect into a relational database and applying Cognos for doing business intelligence and reporting. In this case, I'm showing a two-dimensional cross matrix in which I'm showing different technology classifications, whether it's I'm using obsolete technology or pending technology, and different system development lifecycle phases. I can see that 22 application systems aren't defined for any SDLC phase, but they're using obsolete technologies. I see one project that's using obsolete technology that's in the project definition phase. Well, what's important there is not necessarily that it's using obsolete technology and that it's in a particular SDLC phase, but what's the dollar value? Is it high risk? Is it adding value to the business? Simply clicking on that item can bring up additional information about that item so that I can drill in and discover more about it and assume whether it's a correct level of investment and what are the particulars so that I can make an operational decision on whether using obsolete technology is okay or not for that particular system.
To summarize, here are the benefits of IBM software to government. First, a common understanding of key challenges and desired sustainable change. Next, a methodology to develop the right roadmap and blueprint to achieve that transformation, identify gaps, and manage impact of change along the way. Coupled with enterprise planning and architecture, we offer the ability to select, rank, and prioritize the initiatives that result in highest citizen value and outcomes. Finally, clear reporting on usage of funds and program status. These four aspects together provide governments with a greater degree of transparency, oversight, and accountability.